Sometimes, the simplest changes in your garden can produce results that feel almost magical. That's exactly what happened when I took a handful of old cardboard boxes and buried them in my soil. At first, it was just an experiment, an attempt to recycle waste while improving my garden beds. I expected minor changes, perhaps a bit of moisture retention or weed suppression. What I didn't expect was a transformation in the soil structure, fertility, and even plant growth that completely reshaped my understanding of how organic matter interacts with the earth. Spend the next minute with me, because honestly, this isn't a gimmick or a trendy gardening hack. What I discovered has roots in both ancient soil management techniques and modern permaculture practices. It's a strategy that works for beginners and experienced gardeners alike, and it can turn tired, lifeless soil into a thriving ecosystem. Now, let's have a chat about how burying cardboard actually affects the soil ecosystem. You see, cardboard is primarily made up of cellulose, which is the very same compound you'll find in plant stems, leaves and wood. When you bury it, cardboard becomes a sort of slow-release source of carbon for all those hard-working soil microbes. These microbes, including bacteria and fungi, they feed on the cardboard and in the process break it down into humus, a rich, nutrient-dense material that really boosts soil fertility. What's fascinating, honestly, is that this whole process also gives a nice little nudge to microbial diversity. Different microbes have their own specialities, decomposing things like cellulose, lignin, and other plant-derived materials. As the cardboard gradually breaks down, it encourages a lively underground ecosystem. All this microbial activity naturally aerates the soil, improves drainage, and increases its water-holding capacity, creating an environment where plant roots can truly thrive. In my garden, areas with buried cardboard became noticeably darker, looser, and more crumbly within just a few months. The difference wasn't just visible. Plants planted in these beds showed more robust growth and, higher resilience to drought and pests. One of the most immediate effects I noticed was a reduction in weed growth. Cardboard acts as a physical barrier, blocking sunlight from reaching weed seeds. Unlike plastic sheets or synthetic mulches, cardboard gradually decomposes without leaving harmful residues, feeding the soil rather than smothering it. For practical application, I recommend layering flattened cardboard sheets over the soil, first making sure to overlap the edges to prevent any gaps. And, it's important to water the cardboard thoroughly, so it stays in good contact with the soil. Over time, worms and other soil organisms will burrow through the cardboard, integrating it into the soil naturally. This dual function of suppression and soil enrichment is, honestly, what makes cardboard such a powerful tool for sustainable gardening. Another benefit I observed was improved moisture retention. Cardboard helps the soil hold water longer by absorbing rainfall and irrigation, then releasing it slowly to the surrounding roots. It's a simple trick, but it really does make a difference, In hot weather, this effect can mean the difference between wilting plants and flourishing crops. In practical terms, burying cardboard under a few inches of compost or soil creates a so-called sponge layer beneath your plants. This not only conserves water, but reduces the frequency of watering, which is especially valuable in dry climates or for gardeners trying to manage water efficiently. While cardboard alone has benefits, combining it with other organic materials amplifies results. I often layer cardboard with kitchen scraps, leaves, or compost before planting. As the cardboard decomposes, it draws microbes that simultaneously break down the other organic matter, creating a rich, fertile medium ready for crops or ornamental plants. For a practical approach, you'll want to flatten your cardboard, and if it's dry, just give it a good soak. Lay it over the area you want to improve, then cover it with a layer of compost or garden soil. You can plant directly through the cardboard by cutting holes or slits where your seeds or seedlings will go. Over the season, the cardboard integrates fully into the soil, leaving virtually no trace while boosting soil health. You know, burying carbon-rich materials to enrich soil is not a new concept. Ancient farmers worldwide used layers of straw leaves and plant matter to improve soil structure and fertility. In Japan, traditional green manure and layered organic matter techniques have been documented for centuries. The cardboard method is, well, a modern adaptation of these principles, making it accessible to anyone with recyclables and a bit of soil. For survivalists or off-grid gardeners, this approach offers a low-cost, high-impact method to improve food security while maintaining soil health. By the end of my first full season using buried cardboard, the soil was, honestly, noticeably more vibrant, crumbly and fertile. Worm populations had exploded, plant roots penetrated deeply with ease, and overall garden productivity increased. Even crops considered finicky seemed more resilient and nutrient-dense. The simple act of burying cardboard had triggered a cascade of ecological benefits that, frankly, surpassed anything I expected from a single low-cost intervention. You know, this method really proves that sometimes the simplest materials can produce the greatest results. Cardboard is free, it's widely available, and honestly, it's eco-friendly too. By using it wisely, you can suppress weeds, conserve water, enrich soil, and promote biodiversity, all at the same time. For gardeners, homesteaders and survivalists, this is an accessible technique with both immediate and long-term benefits. If you found this guide on burying cardboard in your soil valuable, make sure to subscribe to Hydra Haven and share it with fellow gardening enthusiasts and survivalists. Implementing these forgotten yet powerful techniques equips you with sustainable strategies that enhance productivity and bring your soil back to life season after season.